My name is Rustin, and I'm very excited to share with you a piece of technology that I have been developing called Hera. Now, I would like to mention that Hera is a companion to the Argus camera rig. The Argus camera rig is a part of my Inside Out research project that I'm conducting at Salisbury University, and without further ado, let's get right into it. So, this software is designed to optimize your 360 video that you capture inside a building or even outside, and turn that into a cube map or equirectangular frames, depending on what you want, as well as allowing you to tweak it and plan your pathing accordingly. In other words, it's both a pre walk around and post walk around software. So, let me explain. First, this is built off of Python, and you can see it right in our requirements tab that will pop up before you even start. And you also need to have FFmpeg installed. That is what is being used behind the hood to generate all of the equirectangular frames as well as cube map faces. So if you have that, we can jump right into it. First, again, if you need to find your FFmpeg Pro, you can find that right up here. Otherwise, you can come right here and use the before capture tips. You can see just some little tips. I should scroll here. Use some little tips that you can see for before capturing, and then as well as after capturing as well. So you can access that both in our before capture tips tab as well as our workflow tips tab here. So, assuming that you have your 360 video turned into an equirectangular format, uncompressed, at least as uncompressed as can be, and all synchronized, you can come right up into here into the top tab and input those files. So for me, I have a testing folder right here with my top, my middle, and my bottom or lower outputs. With all of these in sync, we can now begin to actually use the software. First of all, I'm deciding to extract the frame rate at, let's say, 1 frame per second. Now you can choose any value between 0.1 and 10, and as well it gives you a range of typical values here too. You can use the slider if you'd like, but using 1 frame a second, I think that'll be okay. You can choose to toggle whether you want PNG frames or cubemap faces generated in JPEG. The reason why these are in PNG and these are in JPEG is because you need the equirectangular frames from the videos to be uncompressed to then generate the cubemap faces. This is to save on file size. For most pieces of software, they prefer like RealityScan or Reality Capture prefers cubemaps. So generating the cubemaps in JPEG from a uncompressed video file from an uncompressed frame is the smartest way to go. Now you can also tweak your compression algorithms here, but that's for you to decide. I think the default is fine. Now, scrolling down here, we can actually change the camera. So I'm going to go to the side view and allow you to see this. So assuming you have the Argus camera rig or something very similar to it, you should have a setup of a top, middle, and low camera, hence these three options here. With this, you can now decide to change which camera to edit. So again, you can edit the top, the middle, or lower camera. This is for generating the cube map, as well as toggle which cameras you would like to actually generate the faces. Let's say there's one where you're completely in it. You're not going to want that, so you can just ask it to be deselected so it isn't generated. You can also change the view of the software to see exactly what you are doing. So with the side view here, we can change our pitch. You can see that visually here. For our top view, we can change our yaw, how far around the circle is our starting point. Let's say you screwed on the camera and it isn't perfectly aligned. That's okay. You can tweak it here. And the front, how off is our roll? Again, is it perfectly screwed on or not? So you can see, you can change all of those settings here, as well as choose to copy them to all the cameras, or if you really mess up, reset it. Again, here too, the faces tab is really helpful, especially if you decide to toggle off different faces. Now, for my sake, I'm actually going to make our field of view 100 rather than the standard 90 to increase our overlap when we go to process this in RealityScan. And I'm going to hit copy to all cameras, and we can see that all cameras have this 100-degree field of view. Sweet, and you can even see a plus 10 overlap there. Awesome. From here, we can select our output folder. For me, I want the outputs folder here, and I would like to use demo as our prefix, so I know that this was from this specific iteration. Now, I will go over the tools here in a moment, but we can click Test Render right now to see what our render would look like. So here's our top, here's our middle, and here's our lower. Sweet. I think that looks pretty good to me. Obviously, you can tweak this if you want and remove this and this and this, but for the sake of a demonstration, this should be perfectly fine. Again, also, we can see our April tag, which is very important. So now I will click Run, and this will be running on the background while I explain these two pieces right here. It can be used as both pre-planning software as well. And that's exactly what these two tools here are for. The first one is our April tag sheet generator. This allows us to generate our April tags, and specifically the 36H11 family. This is the best family that I have found to be using for April tags for mapping. You can choose which tags you'd like. I'm going to select the first 6 tags, which is 0 through 5, obviously starting at 0. You can choose to do one at a time too, if you prefer, or a specific number if you would like to replace an older tag. You can change your paper size. You can decide your tag length here. You can add some text to be displayed at the bottom of the paper. You can choose to have our logo. If not, you can upload a custom logo or no logo at all, and whether you would like a thin border around each of the tags or not. You can choose your output format. You can choose to preview it as well. Choose where you would like it to be outputted. This is defaulting to our outputs folder here, so I don't need to touch that. And we can click export. We can view that right here. And there's our April tags. If I zoom out just a little bit, you can see that they're all different patterns. So it is indeed working. Back to the app, and close out of this. Go do our mapping. Come back here and process. Or we could use another capture planner feature that we have here. Let's say you were trying to figure out where specifically you should walk, or where specifically you should put the April tags. Well, that's what this is for here. We're using the home and room example, and these measures have been pre-filled in by me in a prior test, and you can see exactly what path we should take. I'm going to change it to a hallway, and I'm going to change our numbers up real quick. Let's say the hallway is 6 feet wide and 30 feet long. Again, the ceiling, let's say, is 9 feet. I'm 6 foot tall. The top camera is 2 feet above my chest height and 3 feet below it. Again, I said it was a hallway. The tag size we chose was 180 millimeters, shooting in 8K on an Insta360 X4 that gives us a resolution of 7,680, and we plan to extract at 1 frame per second. Now, I'm going to remove our obstacle calculator because we shouldn't have any obstacles in a hallway. We can click compute, and we can see exactly what path we should take. Here's our start, here's our end, and this is the path we should follow. Here, these little golden icons are the tag placements. And you can see more in here about all of the details that you would need to follow. Again, I can change this to, let's say, an open space. I'll change our dimensions to something that kind of makes sense. And you can see our pathway here. Again, it's a little bit different because it's an open space. And then again, you also saw the home and room example. But again, let's say we had an example or obstacle that's 3 by 3. Boom. You can see that it generates an island with additional tag placements as well as an additional walk around. In other words, when you're done finishing this pathway, you should stop, come over here with a new video, or keep recording and just allow yourself to trim and make these two separate video files. Walk this little perimeter here, and you should be fine. Say close. And now we actually have all of the things that we would need to actually pre-plan our software, or pre-plan our capture. Again, we just processed our whole capture here. Again, and let's see. Oh, it's actually finished. So we can actually check out our results. If I go here to the testing page and I go to our outputs, we can see one, the April tags have all been put right into the file or into the folder like we expected, as well as our demo. Now I will use the lower equirectangular just to show you, hey, it was being extracted. You can see that right in the little preview, as well as the fact that our cubemap was also generated. And now this is good to go right into our software, especially since we can see this right here. So that was the Hera software. Again, I was very excited to share that with you guys today. If you guys have any questions or suggestions, feel free to write them below or connect with me on LinkedIn and we can discuss it further. In the meantime, keep surveying. I plan to make this software available soon. I'm exploring routes on how to get that distributed. This is not my forte. This is my first ever piece of software I've really ever made. Again, it was written in Python and it uses FFmpeg. So yeah, if you guys are curious, I am presenting the inside out research, or at least the preliminary results of what I've been working on so far, again at MSGIC on July 16th, 2026. That will be held at the Guerreri Academic Commons in Salisbury University. I think I have the 1 to 1:30 slot, if I remember correctly. And then also, I am excited to announce that I am presenting at the Survey School's 2026 Research Symposium that will be held online July 20th. I don't have specific time details yet, but from my meeting I was just in today, I heard that it might be early morning US time, so we will see. Take care.